Okay, now yeah, very good evening to you all. Welcome to the first of the Super Rugby after game match reviews. So tonight's one, it's the Highlanders versus the Reds. We know that the Highlanders have made the quarterfinals. We know the Reds haven't, but again, some implications for this game to see who the Highlanders will play. It's to be decided in the next couple of days. But yeah, so tonight in Dunedin, under the roof, 14 to 15,000 was the crowd. Referee was Mike Fraser for this one. And going into this game, the Reds had won 4 out of the last 5 games with the Highlanders. So, yeah, early signs, but we knew that the Reds would just throw it around, which was inevitable in this game. So, Reds kick off, as you say, playing nothing to lose pretty much for them. Okay, opening minutes showed the Reds will be moving it around. So that's the first thing you notice. They had a penalty and they just basically kicked for touch, stuffed the 3 points. Good on them for that. And then some side-to-side play by the Highlanders. Tavita made an awesome break down the side, and he popped up to Squire, who went into the Reds 22. And from there, they shifted the ball across the field, and Waisaki Naholo went into the corner for a super try and a great start to the Highlanders. Conversion by Sapawanga 7-0, and that was after 4 minutes. Was it Naholo who's was penalised for holding on? Highlanders gone on the attack, and they went to within 5 metres out. But again, after 5 minutes, Highlanders were looking good. They were putting some good speed and good tempo into this game, which was great to see at this stage. And straight after a big break with internationals, they were looking pretty good. And then James Lockie with another try. I think it was Lockie, not too sure. Not too sure on that one, but he scored the second try for the Highlanders. Quick hands again, and then he put in a cracking fend, and then went straight through, and no one was going to stop him from there. And then that was 14-0 with the Sapawanga conversion. Speed and accuracy was the key for the Highlanders at this point. They were pretty much not making any mistakes. Reds had a few opportunities, but they were dropping it. Let's say that was after about 10 minutes. The Highlanders were 14-0 up. Reds get a penalty, and again from kicking range, but they drive to the corner and have an attacking line-out. But Highlanders go almost the length of the field, and I do mean they went almost the length of the field until Fekitoa knocked it on. At this point also we lost Carmichael Hunt for the Reds. After 15 minutes, that was him pretty much done. I think it was a leg injury. I'm not too sure. I have to look up on that one to see what happened, but yeah. Something happened, and he was gone. So about after about 17 minutes, this game was being played at a very fast pace. It was just end to end, as you say, not much time for kicking for penalties in this game. At the 20th minute mark, we had a little bit of a messy play, scrums, etc., stop starts. But that was very rare in this game. There wasn't that many stop starts in this game, but it was. It was starting to look good for the Reds. The Reds started to come back into this game at this point. They started holding the ball, and that was their problem in the first half. They weren't holding first part of the first half. They weren't holding the ball, and execution was letting them down with the final pass. They gave the Highlanders gave a penalty away, and they went on the attack. And as you say, territory and position. The Reds were leading on territory and position at this point. The Reds bomb a try in the corner. Again, execution, let them down. Still, the Reds were looking the better team at this point. Between the 20th and 30th minute mark, the Reds were looking the better team. They were playing with it. But you just knew, like the All Blacks, when the Highlanders had a chance, they didn't fail, and they went pretty much the full length of the field each time. So just like the final passes at this point for the Reds were letting them down. And then, as you say, the after all that domination for the Reds, I think it was Sapawanga went close on the post, was held up. So they had a attacking scrum, and Kane Hamilton flew out of the back of the scrum and off the back, over he went. And Sapuanga's conversion, 21-0. So it was looking like that was going to be the halftime score, but full credit to the Reds. They're not giving up. They finally put a couple of attacking phases together, a few penalties, and Isaac Rhoda with a try in the corner, which was unfortunately a Quade Cooper miss. Yeah, so at halftime it was 21-5. And 21-5 at halftime. The Reds got better as the game went on, but again, execution was letting them down. But the Highlanders were looking dangerous every time they got the ball, pretty much. So that was the first take of the first half. I suppose it was a thoroughly deserved 21-5 lead for the Highlanders at halftime. Reds could have made more of it, but full credit to the Reds. Their game plan was just to throw it around, have some fun, pretty much. They could have kicked for penalty if they were still in it, but. Kick some penalties, but they just were just there to throw the ball around and make a good game of it. So half time was 21-5. So into the second half we went. Highlanders kick off, and then just like in the first half, they scored pretty quick within 2-3 minutes of the first half. Same thing happened at the start of the second half. The second half they scored a try in the corner. Reds failed to clear, and they were had to charge down as they were clearing their 22, and got charged down. And Tavita Lee eventually picked the ball up and went over. And Sobonga missed this kick, so that was 26-5 at that point. But not the start that the Queensland Reds wanted in the start of the second half. The Reds, as you say, the Reds mucked it up in their own 22. Bad focus on their scrum, considered a 5-metre scrum. And then the Highlanders pretty much just dominated their scrum, and you could see it coming, and dismantled the Reds scrum just out of the Reds try line. Dismantled their scrum, pushed it pretty much over, almost had a driving scrum, but referee had no choice but to go under the post and award a penalty try. So that took it up to 33-5, as you didn't need the conversion. That was already a complete 7-pointer. As you say, Reds still looked good, but it was patience. It was their patience on attack that was letting them down. If they put it together, then it paid off, and it showed you a little bit later that when they finally did a driving maul, they went over for the second try. Didn't quite see who got that one, but again, Cooper missed the penalty, missed the conversion, and that was 33-10 with 25 minutes to go. The second half, pretty much, to me, I thought the first half was the better half at that point, but the second half was looking okay, but it got a little bit scrappy in the middle part of the second half. 5-2 was the try count at this point. And then Tavita Lee almost had another try in the corner. Again, domination by the Highlanders off the line out. Had a drive and then spun it wide, and Sawanga put a crossfield kick. Tavita Lee got it. But as he was going down, they ruled it. He didn't have control. But great covering tackle by Quade Cooper, to be honest. Could have given that try, but I think, fully deserving of Cooper's tackle. It was pretty good. And then a little bit later, then Naholo Saki Naholo was denied as he was heading for the corner after another great spin in the hands. Figatoa with a beautiful pop pass to him, and the covering tackles came across. So full credit to the Reds, were putting in 100%, even that this game meant nothing pretty much to them. This was their last game of the season. So Wasaki Naholo was denied in the corner. But then again, more pressure, and another couple of good phases, a couple of penalties, and Ash Dixon from the back of a scrum, drove along with the forwards, pushing him along, and he went over. And conversion by Sapuanga, and that made it 40 points to 10. And then again, full credit to the Reds. The ball went out the other end. They strung again. Once they strung phases together, the Reds looked good. Quade Cooper with a good sprint of the ball out wide, and Timo went over in the corner. And then Quade Cooper nailed that one. So that was 40-17 at that point. And pretty much from there on, there was about 10 minutes to go, and the game started to get a little bit scrappy near the end. A couple of resetted scrums, etc. As you say, the Highlanders had a few more chances, but again, final knock-ons. I think they had a couple of penalties. They kicked to the corner, and they could have gone pretty much all over the place and scored, but yeah, it was a bit of a knock on near the end, and yeah, and then after the final whistle, there was a bit of a scuffle in the corner, which you don't really want at the end of the game. But yeah, so yeah, full credit. I'll give full credit to the Reds for this one. They turned up to play a game of rugby, considering that they had no chance of catching the Brumbies. That was all over in the Aussie Conference. They weren't going any further. Full credit to them. The Highlanders will now pretty much sit back and wait to see what happens over the rest of the games in the weekend, to see if they're either going to Christchurch or Pretoria, Lions and Crusaders. So that's a definite. They're definitely going away. I can't see the Highlanders now having another home game this season. I think that's the end of them for playing at Forsyth Bar. Highlanders, I thought, played pretty well tonight. Tavita Lee, Franklin was immense in the forward pack. Nahola and Fekitoa played pretty well. And there were a few others. Whitelock again, he's a pretty much a rock at the back for the Highlanders. There were a few Queenslanders. Quay Cooper played pretty well, even though he does get the boos all the time. But yeah, he played pretty well. I can't remember number 3. Number 3. God, he's going to be a complete wrecking ball for the Reds. So yeah, the Reds again. Full credit to the Reds. They turned up and they played a decent game tonight. So yeah, full credit to them. For the Highlanders now, they're probably going to have to look at the defence on this one, because they did concede a few tries, 3 tries in this game, and against some of the bigger hitting teams, they've got to be pretty much careful on that. I don't think they're going to have the freedom as the Reds allowed them tonight. So yeah, things to work on, but full credit to the Highlanders. They've done this game, they've won this game, and now they just sit back and see where they're going. So yeah, so put your comments down, subscribe, see how I did on my first Super Rugby match. Hope I did okay. As you say, smash that like button, comment, subscribe, do all those things I just said, and hopefully I'll do another one tomorrow night. I think it's the big one, Crusaders and Hurricanes. I'll do a little pre-match before that one, and yeah, look forward to doing a review on that game after. So from me for tonight, I'm knackered, I'm off to bed, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.